Okay, I guess this is enough stalling. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't really got a big ol' intro today, but yeah. We're starting out in my room, and then who knows? We'll end up playing something, though. I don't really know what, though. What is today? What's today, man? What's today? Why don't you tell me, Jason? Today's just a day I'm hanging out in my apartment. But, yeah. April 30th. Well, for me, it's the 29th, so I'm not there yet, but... yeah, give it a couple hours, but... It's alright, man. It's alright. I'll catch up. I'll catch up. Yeah, no real plan today. We're just chilling out. I'm probably gonna yap, or... if we want, we can watch some videos for a bit, or... I don't know. I disagree. Time ruined the meme. Because I'm not in the correct time zone. You broke the time, man. You broke the time, police. Not really. Oh, God. But what are y'all doing? What y'all up to today? Yeah? Because, at least as far as I know, I'm doing kind of alright, actually. Got some job interviews done today. Got some stuff done. And, I'm waiting for... this is gonna sound weird, but I have some seeds coming in. I'm gonna try and grow me some peppers. And, not too much for Jason. Alright. Not too much can be good, though. I feel like. I kind of wish I had days where not too much was happening, if I'm being real with ya. God dang it, my eyes were kind of tweaking out there for a sec. What is going on? Not really. But yeah, I want to try my hand at growing some peppers, so... I'm doing a practice run with a couple of easy plants right now, and then I'll probably be doing some, growing. I'm growing. Ain't no one gonna know that joke, man. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I wish that I could watch movies on here without getting copyrighted. That'd be fun to watch Creepshow with y'all. Because one thing that your boy likes to do sometimes is to just watch weird random horror media. Because I think it's interesting. I used to have a sub to Chiller, which just used to be this, like... it's sort of like Netflix, but for, like, horror movies. Like, indie horror movies. It's pretty dope. I don't have it anymore, but... that would have been cool to do. I just don't want to get copyright. Yeah. There's this series that I've been watching lately called The Longest, like the Oldest View. And it's weird and interesting in all these really cool ways that that involves how should I put this? It's sort of like if you really try to forget something, or it's like if you have something in your past that you should remember, but you don't. And then that thing comes back to haunt you later because rather than it getting like the proper recognition or whatever, you just sort of forgot it. That's kind of a stupid way of putting it, but it also has this weird like rolling giant thing. And I also been watching a lot of cave disaster videos. I don't know why my morbid curiosity has been getting the better of me lately, but cave disaster videos have been another thing that I just sort of, I don't know, latched onto. And you know what? You know what's interesting is that caving to me is a very interesting thing to do. I just will never do it personally. Because I know that I'm gonna get stuck, and I'm gonna probably die like the people in those videos. Will I watch people who take cameras down into caves and watch them do it? Absolutely. Will I ever do it myself? Hell no. I very much applaud anyone who has the bravery to be able to do caving, because that's crazy stuff to me. I don't think I would ever be able to do that or muster up the nerve to do it. I might play a video game about caving, because there's no stakes in it, but what we need, and maybe this is a thing that I do in my spare time, who knows? I think I say this like I'm actually smart enough to do that, but I think it'd be cool to have like a snake robot or like a little droid just rolling around at the speed of sound and just, I don't know, just send one down into a cave on my behalf. Yeah, it would require a really long tether, and it would probably like break halfway in because it fell down a ravine or something, but I think it'd be pretty sick to actually send a little robot down there and like camp just outside the entrance of the cave. So that way I could do all of the cool sightseeing of caving without actually needing to go into the cave myself. Does that make me a chicken shit? Yes. Yes, it does. Indeed, Jason is in the house. What's up, bro? Oh my god, we're spamming the redeems again. I gotta hydrate. Alright, we're hydrated.
Drink water.
My god. Alright, I drank water. But yeah, I think it'd be pretty neat to like send a robot down there and actually do the caving for me instead of, you know, caving myself. There's just something about this is kind of a dumb thing to say, but there's just something about caving that I just don't really feel like dealing with. And that's just like the actual cave environment. You know what I mean? It's like, if I have to fit myself down into a crevice that's barely the size of my shoulders, I don't think I want to go in there. And yet these mad lads will go in there, like really compress their bodies down, and just like really, really like squeeze into these really tight spaces. And I'm just like, damn, you guys are ballsy to want to go in there, man. Nuts, I tell ya. Nuts. And then whenever I see these cave disaster videos that I've been watching, I'm just like, yeah, it's probably a good idea that I don't go down there. Because that'll be me. That's gonna be me. And not only that, but it's kind of stupid to think about, but when you really stop and consider like everything that you have to do when you're inside of a cave, otherwise, it's like, if you want the Dark Souls of real life, go caving. I mean it, man. It's like, ugh, I don't want to do that. Because doing that would require me to actually like consider all of the avenues in which I could get stuck, and I don't really want to get stuck. Some of them aren't even like, oh well, you just got lodged between two rocks. Sometimes it's passages just straight up collapse, or, you know, sometimes it's winter when you go in, but then for some reason you've warmed up the rocks just a bit too much and now the whole cave collapses. Or in one of the like weirdest weirdest ones that I've seen, it's more like you go cave diving, which already just like, hey Holiappa, what's up? I'm just yapping right now because I don't really have a plan of what game I want to play at the moment. I'll probably think of it as I go, but how you been, man? I'm yapping about caving and how, like, cave environments just are not a thing I want to deal with. Even if I find caving itself to be, like, fascinating. So I've been watching these weird cave disaster videos. But, anyway, I just think that it's also really weird. Oh, no. Let me go back to what I was talking about before I went off on a tangent there. Brain rot heresy everywhere. Welcome to 2025. Oh my god. We're not reading brain rot today. I'm just yapping. I'm just kind of yapping while I figure out which game I want to play later. Because at like 11:30 is when I'm actually going to play video games, but this is just I'm hanging out. Like, I got nothing better to do, and I'm just hanging out here, so might as well just spend my time with everybody and just yap. But, yeah. Okay, what was I saying before I got sidetracked? That's right. If you go cave diving, and you go up and surface for one, you have to take a bunch of different, like, tanks with gas mixtures in them, just to make sure that you have the right, like, combination of nitrogen and oxygen in there. Otherwise, you get sick. And it could kill you. Which, fantastic. That's great. But you can also have a situation where if you surface at an air pocket, and the air pocket happens to be full of carbon monoxide, or any other kind of, like, gas in there, it could just straight up poison you, and then you drown. Like, I don't mean to laugh about this, but it seriously kind of, like, gets me how anyone can go, like, cave diving and think that that's actually, like, a good idea. Now, granted, you do find, like, unique, like, life and biology inside of a cave, but I don't know, I feel like I could have achieved the same thing by sending a little, like, snake robot down there. It might just be me. I don't feel the need to actually, like, go in there myself, and don't get me wrong, I highly respect the people who do go cave diving, but it will never be me who goes and does that. Just because I know that I'm the idiot who's going to do the one lazy thing, who's going to end up, like, clipping their, like, descent line somewhere stupid, and then the rock collapses, and then I get clubbed in the head with 40 pounds of rock. You know what I mean? It's kind of a dumb situation if you think about it. That being said, I think caving is... To like circle back around, I think caving's interesting. Just not for me. I've also been watching... Let's see, some people have found an altar 300 meters inside an underwater cave system. Scientists know about it since 50 years, but till now scientists dared to dive down to look. Where is that? That sounds cool as hell. Like, see, that's the stuff that I think is interesting about caving, but just for how dangerous it is and how much prep you need to actually pull it off, I don't really feel like I would want to do it. Yeah, no. Since this is just a hangout day or hangout time for right now. Do you remember what it's called? Because I think it'd be cool to read about it, at least for a little bit. Because if they found an underwater altar in a cave, that's pretty sick. That's some archaeology right there, my guy. But yeah. I also think it's interesting to see, like, all of the blind fish that can be found in a cave system. Or, like, just really weird... Nope, that was about 20 years you heard about it. Gotcha. Gotcha. I mean, we can just go on a little Google journey real quick, I guess. Because now I'm fascinated by that. That seems interesting. You feel old. Brother, you're telling me. Alright, let's see. Window capture. Right, let me go to the right one first. Just a fresh browser window, I suppose. Brave browser. Whether you feel old, you should work out more. I would. I actually do. Weirdly enough, like, today was a rest day for me, but I tend to go to the gym at close to 4 in the morning where I live. So, but I've noticed also that I've been kind of like plateauing a little bit. So, yeah. Let's see. Altar found in underwater cave. Ooh, okay. Today it will have work and tomorrow it will be stressful. Why will it be stressful tomorrow? Let's see. An ancient Teotihuacan altar dating back to the late 4th century. Oh, that's the AI overview. Hidden altar buried underground, buried near the center of the ancient Maya city of Tikal. Is this the one that you're talking about? That's cool. What the heck? Is this the... Huh, okay. Unearthing the past. Teotihuacan altar and child sacrifice. Oh, God. I mean, I know they did that, but... That's kind of, Archaeologists in Guatemala recently discovered an ancient altar used for child sacrifices over 1,600 years ago, offering new insights into the interactions between the Teotihuacan and Maya civilizations. The altar, dating back to the 5th century CE, was discovered in Tikal, an ancient Maya city located in what is now Tikal National Park. The Teotihuacan people, who live more than 700 miles north of Tikal, near present-day Mexico City, had a surprising connection with the Maya, as evidenced by this ritualistic find. The altar, found within a residential complex, contained the remains of 3 children, all under the age of 4. That's dark. Suggesting that it was used in child sacrifice ceremonies. Ugh. This grisly discovery adds a layer of understanding to the religious practices that were shared by both cultures. Archaeologists believe that the altar's presence in the Tikal points to significant socio-political and cultural exchanges between the two ancient societies. Okay. So where do they find it specific? Oh, I wish there was more images. Today is preparation for festival. Tomorrow is it. For you, it means 3 to 5 people who think they are my boss, and I'm feel the only one with a plan. Oh God, that sucks. Ugh, you have my condolences, man. That's kind of how it is at work right now where I am. Where there's a lot of stuff going on, and I'm the only one who really knows what they're doing. Okay. Well, that's pretty sick. Alright. I like the idea that they found such a weird discovery. But yeah. Let's see. You know what else is kind of weird that I've been really reading into lately? Is that I've been revisiting like some older, like creepy things. And I've been trying to reread House of Leaves. That was a really weird book to pick up at the first point, but I'm gonna be real, I started reading it because of Nightmind. If you've ever seen that channel, that's a really good horror channel as well. But I started reading House of Leaves more as a, I don't know, a delving into what is probably the weirdest book puzzle box. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. It's like a puzzle box that I've ever had the pleasure of actually like digging my teeth into. It's a really weird read, though, because you have to pay attention to, like, the colors of the text, how, like, some of the text seems to be, like, enlarged, so perspectively it's, like, coming out of the book at you sometimes. Some of it's really disorienting to read just because of, like, formatting and kerning and all that the author used for like artistic reasons. And you have to kind of read really closely in between the lines just to figure out what's going on. And I'm not really gonna. You know what? It's not really a book that can be spoiled because everyone who reads House of Leaves gets something different out of it, so I'll just share what I got out of it. After putting together like all of the stuff from the Navidson record, to be honest, the best way to deal with a bad customer had my boss. There was a real Karen that demanded to see him for 2 hours. She nagged at him while he did paperwork only to say, "Please excuse myself, but I have the habit of ignoring pointless things, so who are you?" That's a good burn. Very nice. Oh god. I love moments like that. But let's see, going back to what I was saying. That's right. When I was putting together the Navidson, like the stuff from the Navidson record and some of the like personal journal entries from the author and the exploration of the house on Ash Tree Lane, I started to realize that this was like a book that was meant to contain this, like the echo of the author's mum, whose spirit like haunts the pages. And the book itself was meant to be like a containment or like a memorial. I couldn't really tell which. But then I watched some of the videos from Nightmind about about the book itself. And I ended up being like, huh, I guess I'm not the only one who came to that conclusion. Good lord. But even then, there was a lot of stuff I missed. And there's a lot of stuff that I ended up like not really looking into very much when I should have, including the poems. And I'll perfectly cop to the reason of I'll just own the reason why. I'm not even though I like hip hop music and I like stuff that rhymes, I'm not really a poetry person. If that makes any sense. Like, I don't mind reading poetry and I don't mind reciting poetry, but I'm not a person who enjoys poetry. Like, it's fun to say out loud, and it's fun to listen to, but if I have to sit down and read it quietly, it's not the kind of thing that really captures my attention very much. It takes like a really good poem to really pull me out of that, and there's not very many that do. I remember... Yeah, poetry. I'm going on about poetry now. As it relates to House of Leaves, because a lot of the stuff that I missed in the book was tied to a poem that was in the book, but I'm not a poetry guy, so I ended up missing that, because I was just like, poem, pass it. And I fully confess that it was just my laziness and my lesser affinity for poetry that forced me to skip it. Probably stupid, but who cares? I shouldn't have skipped it, but I did. It sucks. But not really. Oh god, I've also been catching up on a lot of I've been catching up on a lot of tabletop games and a lot of okay, I'm just gonna flat out say it. I've been reading up on some new 40k stuff, and I would like to kindly point to everything that's been released in the last like 5 years and respectfully say, what the hell is going on? Y'all have some weird stuff in there now. Dear God. And it's not all bad. I am a little disappointed that they just keep building up newer and more bigger Space Marines. But their lore justification's dumb. Maybe it's just me, but I think it's dumb. I also really want to play Space Marine 2. All that being said, Bye bye panties, goodbye. There's no. If we keep on breeding the whole night, but let us fill the whiskey and wine. This is the day where the girl. This is the day where the women rise, and we keep on singing. The last time I played a bard in D&D. Fair enough. That's quite the poem, my man. Good lord. Holy balls. Literally in that case. But let's see. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. There's a lot of like really good 40k media right now. I don't know what's going on, but there's also a lot of really dumb 40k media right now. And I don't know what to make of it because there's a lot of it that's stupid as hell. But then there's some of it where I'm like, all right, I get it. I looked at the game rules recently, and you can tell that I came from a different era of 40k because a lot of the stuff that's in the new rule books are just beyond me in terms of their like rulings, how they work, how mechanically they fit. Ugh. Nearly every bard in D&D. I know I fucked up, but I will also fuck uns out of this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that basically describes most bards. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I need to play more D&D, to be perfectly honest with you. I haven't played in like... Well, no, that's not true. Well, I've been playing with a friend of mine for a while now. We just finished a session today, but I kind of feel like I'm in the mood for just D&D classic. You know what I mean? Something that's like, you haven't played D&D in 10 years. Oh, that's sad. But yeah, my buddy has a really cool D&D campaign going right now where it's set in this like cyberpunky... It's like this cyberpunk diesel punk future sort of thing. You had your own D&D horror story. Oh no, what's that? Share it here if you like. Mad... Oh, it's not really Mad Maxy, but it does have like a lot of inspirations from stuff that he really, really likes. And it's a cool campaign. It really is. It's not really Waterworld either, so what it is it's sort of this oh god, this is a really hard one to describe, but yeah, it's like a cyberpunky, like diesel punk future where you have these alien-like Phyrexian creatures called Fomorians that are destroying everything. He's running the campaign with multiple groups so that their actions affect like everyone's campaign in some way. Like one of the players secured ICBMs for a nation that they ally themselves with. It's Fomorians. So like the way that he describes them is like they're sort of like Phyrexians from Magic mixed with Eldrazi. It's kind of a hard thing to describe, but he uses a lot of like the Eldrazi artwork, and he uses a lot of the Phyrexian artwork to kind of show what Fomorians are. And I'll put it in the chat. Hang on. It's kind of a weird Celtic word. Yeah, like that. And something that's really cool that he does with it too is that these Fomorians also have like Zerg powers almost, where they corrupt everywhere they inhabit. It's so weird, but it's also super, super cool. Also, there's no real like gods or divine magic in the setting, which given what we know about the setting, it makes sense, but okay, you need some time to type the horror story you had. Go for it. I'll keep yapping. Um, but yeah, it's a cool setting, and I'm having a lot of fun with my character because I'm playing as a someone who basically Genshin impacted into the world. He's a he's like a hag. He's like a hag spawn of Baba Yaga and a wizard, and he gets away with some really crazy stuff from time to time, which I have a lot of fun with. But one of these days, once I actually have like more people in my chat that stick around and consistently like say things, and I know Jason will probably be part of this too because man pops up all the time, and I think it'd be pretty cool. But I want to do like a chat ventures style campaign where I'm the DM and everyone in the chat votes on what the character does. I know that would probably result in a complete disaster, but I think it would also be really hilarious and fun to watch because it's like, okay, cool. You guys now need to make like you guys now need to like tell me through polls or like upvoted comments on a Reddit thread that I put up for the adventure. Just stuff like I haven't hashed out all of it yet, just because it's like, how would I even do this? But I think it would be really neat to have like a chat venture style campaign where people could come in and like completely screw over everything or or just do weird stuff. Of course, I'd have to do like vetting so that you can't do like shit that'll get me banned, but you know what I mean. Yeah. A chat ventures campaign. I think that would be pretty dope. And until I can figure out the logistics of it and until I have like a lot more consistent chatting going on, I don't think I can really pull it off. But that'll be a down the road project. But it's one that's definitely in the back of my mind because I think that would be sick. Plus, I really like D&D, so yeah, no, it would be neat to do at least once. I also know that I probably don't want to do like, and that's not true. If I had if there were a bunch of other people who stream who wanted to do like a D&D campaign, I'd be down to do it as a player, but I don't think I'd want to do it as a DM. Just because that would take a lot out of me. I'm kind of taking a break from being a DM right now. So unless I do like the chat ventures thing, I don't think I'd really want to DM for like an actual party. At least not for a while. I'm taking a break. So, if I did do a campaign, God, what kind of character would I play? I've played them all now. Oh yeah, and also the rules are different now. Because all of the rules that I used to play with in 5th edition now are all legacy stuff. But the rules that are out now are basically 5th edition tuned up. So, I don't know. I really don't know. Good lord. That's something to think about, though. I guess if I wanted to scratch the D&D itch, I could probably play Baldur's Gate. I heard that there's a lot of mods now, so... maybe that's a thing. Oh my god, this is a wall of text. Alright, hang on. I'm gonna have to read this. He started D&D and was this group for 2 years because real-life friends decided that you would try to DM, and the former DM forced you to take over his campaign. You wanted to master one-shots, not a campaign. You have no idea about the party was made of that guys. The former DM constantly underdigged my authority. A min-maxer who teach the murder hobo how to create stronger killers, and a real-life chaotic stupid, and I got the fault that they had no fun. Damn, that sucks. That's awful. That's really awful. What the heck? Let's see. In all my years of playing D&D, I've run maybe 4 or 5 campaigns, 3 of which I completed, but 2 of which ended up kind of getting shelved or unfinished because of player drama, the other one just because of burnout on my part, to be perfectly real with you. And it ended up in a situation where I was like, I'm not really having fun anymore. And one of the things I learned early on is no D&D is better than bad D&D, so I ended up just taking a very extended break because I really didn't want to deal with like prepping for a campaign that I wasn't passionate over anymore. And yeah, I mean, ugh. But that horror story's bad, man. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. That sucks. Yeah, I do like DMing, but I feel like I would have to do it for the right group also, because if I'm going to put in a lot of work to create a setting and to create like a whole campaign and a whole like deal, your question to the players was, what do you want to do in game? And they answered like brain rotted zombies. That's fair, man. That's fair. Whenever I run a campaign, I always have like a set expectation, and I choose my players based on what it is. Okay, I'm phrasing this wrong, but usually when I do campaigns, I like to see what all the players want to do, but I also have like an idea of the kind of story that I want to eventually tell, but I plot out the point A and the point Z, and how the players get there is kind of the campaign. Like, I've learned how to kind of adapt and grow and just change things around so it's more fun for the players, but I feel like if I ever did a campaign again, I would have to, I feel like I would have to have the right party for it. There's also an ad going, so I'm gonna wait a sec. You found out that most of the players, their characters are stat blocks. They never change or learn, and in the role they have no fun. Oh god. That just sounds like it sucks, dude. That just sounds really sucky. Not gonna lie. And I mean, I get it. I used to be that guy too, but I grew out of it eventually because it turned the game into being soul crushing. And it took me a good group of friends that I still play with to this day. I actually just really want to play in a campaign where I don't know. I'm having a D&D hankering as a player, and I don't know how to fix it. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, maybe, and like I said, maybe one of these days I'll do a. Maybe one of these days I'll do a campaign or something. The worst part was the story where you lost 7 characters in 2 sessions because you were sacrificed for small reasons so they don't lose levels. Oh, that's dumb. That's really dumb. Yeah, dude, that just sounds like a mess. That just sounds like a real mess. Not that doesn't sound good at all, dude. Mm-mm. No way, dude. No way. But yeah, I'd want to do chat ventures at some point because I think that'd be fun. I also think it'd be fun to do like I don't know, maybe to show off like weirder or more obscure tabletop RPGs that have merit to them. I don't know how else to describe it other than that, but you know what I could do? I don't know, sorry. I was just thinking that like maybe one of the things I could do to sort of like scratch the D&D itch, maybe I should just play Baldur's Gate again. Maybe that's just what I need to do because I have this weird like D&D itch that I cannot seem to scratch and I don't know, it might be fun to do. I did try a now we're actually getting back to the how about Oblivion Remastered? I mean, I plan to pick it up when I have money for it. I'm broke right now, bro. Gotta pay bills, my man. And I have a whole set of new bills coming up too this next month. So I'd like to play Oblivion Remastered, but see, the funny thing is for me, Hollyepa, is that since I live in the Rocky Mountains, it's still 4/29. So it's gonna be the 30th. Wait, no, it's not. Yeah, it is. Tomorrow for me is gonna be the 30th. I'm not there yet. Yeah. I'm still in the past. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. For you, it's 7 a.m. Yeah. For me, it is 11:03. It is 11:03 p.m. And I still need to figure out what I'm going to play in like 27 minutes. I might play some Mech Warrior, I don't know. But I have this weird like RPG fixation right now. 8 hours. Yes. I still have this like RPG fixation right now though, so maybe I will re-download Baldur's Gate and just play that. But if I do that, I'd want to see like all of the weird mods that exist. And I'd also want to do like I don't know, I'd want to do a challenge of run of some description. Cause one of the things I used to like doing in Baldur's Gate is just getting the ever-burning sword before I even left the tutorial. And then proceed to almost never use it. But let me tell you, doing a 6-barrel shuffle against demons is hilarious. Especially if you gank the main guy in the beginning. It's pretty cool. I could play Mech Warrior tonight. I haven't played some Mech Warrior in a while. I have no idea. But the idea that I do have is... I don't know. Portal? I wish I had Portal. I used to. I don't anymore. Portal is a lot of fun, though. Especially when you get to do the side chambers and the is on Steam. Well, I know, but I used to have it, but You know what? I'm gonna just go look at my game library on Steam. Why not? I mean, of course, the first thing that it recommends to me because of my preferences is Oblivion Remastered. But my library, other than having a bunch of like weird like mech games. Let's see. Oh my god. How good are you with Souls-like games? Brother, do you know who you're talking to? I play Elden Ring. I love Souls games, man. I adore Souls-like games. They're so good. I tried playing Dark Souls 3 at one point, but because I learned that... Okay, so I learned that the Steam version of Dark Souls 3 doesn't cooperate well with OBS, so I had to drop that series that I was doing. Let's see. I do have Baldur's Gate 3. I've got Binding of Isaac. I've got Dark Souls Prepare to Die, Dragon Age Origins, the Ultimate Edition. I have the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, the original one. Starbound, which is cool. I've ever heard of the Surge. It's basically a sci-fi Dark Souls. I have, and I wasn't a fan of it. I played it for a little bit and I thought it was clunky. Let's see. Starbound is like Terraria, which I have Terraria as well. Warframe. I liked Warframe, but it was way too frickin' grindy. Let's see. I have the original 40k Space Marine, which is fun. Got Armored Core, but I also have that on console. Got Dark Souls 3, got Skyrim. What the hell is Feria? Oh, it's a card game that's like Hearthstone. Okay. Fallout 4, Ooh. New Vegas would be fun, but I would have to mod the crap out of it to make it work. And I don't have that kind of time right now. But New Vegas would be pretty fun. Fear and Hunger. Oh god, I'm not playing that on stream without modding it. We'll get banned. FTL is a lot of fun, but you die so often. Battlefleet Gothic? I don't have that on my list, actually. Maybe. Let's see. Faster Than FTL is a really fun one. Gundam Breaker 4. Oh god. I know that there's more content in that game right now, but I don't think I can justify like spamming out a bunch of Gundam Breaker again. It's kind of gotten a little bit route for me to play. I have the original Killing Floor. Got Mass Builder, the Mecha... Man, I miss Mecha Break so much. I miss it. Mountain Blade Warband. That was a fun one. Path of Exile. Phantasy Star Online 2. Repo. Yeah. Let's see. I have Sekiro. Terra Online. God, that game was fun, but it died so fast. I have Star Wars Republic Commando, which was awesome, but I don't want to play that. Tree of Savior. What the hell is Tree of Savior? Oh yeah, it was the Ragnarok Online thing that ended up breaking for me. Alright. Yeah. And then the rest of this is just my VTuber software. Oh boy. I wonder. There's a lot of funny glitches and a lot of weird exploits you could do in the original Oblivion. But the remaster, I do wonder how much of the original is left in that game, but hmm. 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 I don't know. And I'm kind of upset that my mods for Armored Core don't work anymore. It's a little upsetting. Because my modded Armored Core was a fun one to play from time to time. Sorry, I gotta hydrate the throat. You know what? I might just do Mech Warrior tonight. Just to see how I can, how can I improve my shooting. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Let me see here. I'm gonna boot it up at least. And then I'll change the oh my god, I yawned really loud there. Oh my goodness, that was a loud yawn. Okay. I wonder if it'll actually change my stream details in real time. Who knows? Let's see. Or I could just quit being lazy and go on Twitch and do it. Wait. I don't want to show that. It's the space flight in 40k. You go now. Have fun. Good to see you, Hollyeppa. Thank you for popping by. Let's see. I should just go on to... Dear God. Yeah, I should just go on to Twitch and just do it normally. I should just stop being lazy. Let's see. Edit. Alright, let's turn this into a mech... Wait. Mech Warrior Online. There we go. Done. Alright. We switched it over to Mech Warrior. And, here's what I'm going to do. Just so that it's not... Hang on. There we go. And let's see. No! Wrong. Sorry, I'm dumb. Scoot. Let's see, scoot that right there. And I'm going to splice my recording here.